What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine. And as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career.
And we're gonna continue to do that this week. Do you think? Should we? Should we keep going with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think.
Yeah.
It's working out okay. So we should probably keep talking about the trades and stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
What do you think? You like it?
Yeah, I guess we'll keep going. Let's keep at it.
Okay.
Brings us to our topic for this week,
Yep.
which is burn the boats.
Yeah. What does that mean, Sean?
What does that mean? What is that vague metaphor? I didn't. So I know what the phrase means. I forgot to look up what's the origin of the story, but it's something. Did you?
No.
Okay. I think it's better that way.
You told me.
Doesn't matter.
I thought you knew.
I knew.
You told me who it was.
I told you it was somebody like that. It was somebody like Julius Caesar or Napoleon or.
Okay.
But it could have been Napoleon Dynamite. I don't know. But the concept is the same no matter what the origin story. It was about going to war. Taking your ships to a foreign land, landing upon the shore, burning the boats. So you have no backup plan. You can't retreat. It is succeed or die.
Yeah.
Go all in.
Go all in.
So it's pretty intense.
I don't like that saying.
Do you not like it because you think it's too intense or because it's discriminatory against boats?
As a boat enthusiast, I can't imagine purposefully burning a boat. No, I think that it doesn't really make any sense because okay, you're gonna go invade this place.
Yeah.
You're there.
Yeah.
You took it over. Now you're like, okay, well now I got to go to the next place or I got to go back home. How are you gonna get there?
Well, that is their new home. I think people didn't go back in those days. It was just that was too far. It was just this is where we live now.
Okay.
And then they'll probably do some more invading by land. And then they'll get to the next shore. They'll build new boats. It would be too far to carry the boats either way.
It doesn't seem like a thought out plan, but I do understand the message behind it. I get it. Going in on whatever you're doing.
Yes.
I've heard this metaphor a lot in business and also in sports. So.
Okay.
Going all in.
You got to go all in.
Got to go all in.
Well, maybe you don't have to, but that's the way I like to live my life. And
Well, it's a philosophy.
It's a philosophy,
You don't have to, but it's a way of thinking.
But it's a lot more fun.
Is it?
When everything's on the line every day. Yeah, it's so much better.
So much stress.
Yeah. But you know what? As I'm telling the origin story of this, that was kind of telling the troops, maybe the troops weren't so bought into it. They were as soon as things get tough.
So you give them no choice.
Yeah. So I don't know if I like that part of it, where it's we landed here, conquer or you're going to die.
Yeah.
Because I burned. Remember those things came here on? They're gone. I burned those.
Yeah.
You burned the boats.
Have to win.
What do you mean you burned the boats? The boats are gone. Stop thinking about that. And go kill some people over here.
Yeah.
And take their land. And the more I talk about it, the more I don't love the origin story of this, but I love the concept.
Yeah, we'll go in more of a meta way.
Yeah, maybe from here on out on this episode, we'll just refer to it as the all-in mentality.
Yep.
So
I think
burning the boats and all the that's a little
all-in mentality.
Yeah, it's a little gruesome.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, before we get too far into it, let's get into some drinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
What'd you get us this week?
So this week I got. So it's a brand that we've had before, Two Chicks.
Yep.
They make these, pre-mixed cocktails. Mm-hmm. They've all been good so far. I saw this one's got gin in it. We haven't had gin.
No.
I haven't had gin since I probably had a gin and tonic 12 years ago, and I was like, this is horrible. It's also got apple and cucumber, and I've already said previously how I don't like cucumber-flavored stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a gimlet. That's what a gimlet is, I guess?
I have no idea. No, I've never heard that.
Okay.
I thought that was a character from Lord of the Rings.
Never seen Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, me neither. That's probably why I don't know if that's... Okay, well, cheers.
Cheers.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Oh. I love that.
That is nice.
That's really good.
Yeah. See, they did it right here with the apple. It kind of dilutes that weird cucumber taste, but you still get a little hint
But a
of
little
it.
bit, yeah.
That's nice.
That is nice. I was honestly very worried this was going to be another.
Of that loyal lemony. We were
we were like,
this
this is horrible.
Yeah.
No, this is very good.
It is very good. I'm glad I ventured out of my comfort zone and went all in on this decision because there's no turning back.
Yep.
Anyway, so how was your week?
It was good. I hate to be all topical about it, but it was so hot, and
It's all anybody's talking about.
it's all
the
anybody's
weather.
talking about. The UK is apparently melting.
Yeah. The runways were melting.
Their runways were melting.
On the, that's just.
The tarmac, which I don't understand why. Like I get
why they make it out of tar. Should be the concrete mac.
should
It
be.
wouldn't
Yeah,
melt.
that was bad.
Yeah.
Bad planning. But like it was also very hot here. I would assume they're made the same way in the UK and in America. Why weren't our tarmacs melting?
I don't know. They're a dramatic bunch over there.
They're just
You know?
maybe they're just so not used to it.
Yeah. They're like, it's really hot, isn't it?
That was Australian.
It's kind of the same thing. Isn't it?
I don't know if it's the same thing.
I did see a meme that said if Stranger Things was based in England, it would be called Bit Odd, isn't it? I thought that was funny. I thought that made me laugh.
That's funny.
Anyway, yeah, it was so hot this week.
Yeah, this week was
ridiculous.
It was unbearable, and we don't have air conditioning. Well, we do have air conditioning in the van, but the van is not on when we are in it all day. So the van gets quite hot, and then everybody's in the sun all day. So it just really makes for some dismal conditions when it's like 100 degrees.
Yeah, and the van gets so hot that the computer stopped working.
Yeah, that was
so it's really
problem.
put a damper on productivity in the van and productivity out on the job site because everyone's like basically dying. The one nice thing, client's got a pool.
Client's got a pool, yeah.
And are very adamant about encouraging us to swim in it.
Yeah, which is very nice. I do feel
at
like
least I think so.
I'm like a little bit at a loss as a woman in this pool situation because you guys just take your shirts off and go in.
Yeah.
I have to be fully clothed or in a bathing suit, which feels weird, which I'm not going to do. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit in wet shorts. But it was so hot, I didn't even care.
Yeah.
I had to do it.
I dried off in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And now that I mention it, I'm not sure necessarily how adamant the client is about us swimming in their pool, but Ant said that they said that it's cool.
Yeah.
And he's been going in, so now I'm going in. So I think
I
it's
was just
cool.
going to roll with it because you said that, but I have not heard them say once that we should go in. I was just trusting you guys.
They definitely didn't say to me that we shouldn't go in. And I think they're totally cool with it. They're completely fine with it.
I'm sure this week they have to understand. It's like
so hot.
if they want us to do anything, it's gonna somebody's gonna be
or
in the
they're
pool.
looking out like, what are they doing? They're just swimming all day. It's only on lunch break.
Yeah.
Only on a quick dip at lunch.
Yes.
To cool off, get back to work, and I think this is probably the worst of the heat.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I think this weekend it's gonna be the worst, and then it's gonna go back to normal.
Yeah,
It was just
so-
a heat wave.
I'm glad. So hot.
Me too. Yeah.
So let's get into our topic.
right, yeah.
Enough about the weather.
Enough about the weather.
Yeah. But let us know what it's like in your neck of the woods. Because apparently it's been hot everywhere.
Actually, we complain, but we're in New Jersey. It's probably like way worse, or always like that in like Texas.
Yeah.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, it would.
But-
Or you just get used to it. I don't know.
I don't know. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I was so hot. I don't know if my body could like get used to being that hot all the time.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, probably not. But I'm not moving to Texas, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. You just have to worry about global warming.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So
Maybe it's inevitable for all of us.
Yep. Anyway, well,
All right,
let's not
talk about
focus on
going
that.
all in.
Yeah, let's go all in on the topic.
How did you, we've been talking about this a lot, like going all in, this like hustle mentality. What brought you into this kind of mentality? And why do you like it? What draws you to that?
You know, I think I've done this many times throughout my life, throughout my career, where I've just, should I say burn the boats again? I've really...
Go ahead, you can, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Commit
I've
to them.
burned the boats and just given myself no other option but to succeed. And I didn't go into it thinking that through, like a conscious decision. Like, I'm going to go all in on this idea and I'm not leaving myself an out, so I have to make it work. Like, I didn't do it as a motivating factor. It was just like, that's just what I was driven to do in the moment. Like, the first example that I can really think of is I used to cut lawns and do like landscape maintenance, and I got the opportunity to do one full backyard remodel, and essentially right after that, with no prospects for work, recently having bought a house, I just gave up all of that, gave away all of my accounts, sold what little equipment I had for like a few $1,000s, and then I was a backyard builder with no prospects for work or anything, and I just had to figure it out, or else, I don't know, foreclosure or whatever. But I wasn't really like consciously thinking that. It was just like, I love this. I can really see myself doing this. I'm going all in on it. And, and then I think when you have that mentality, it usually works out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think it is like just a full mentality. And I'm sure that you've done that in other areas of your life too, not just like in business. Yeah. Because I feel like the same thing too. I feel like I have this like, I don't know if it's my inflated self-ego or what, but I'm just fully convinced that I can do anything as long as I set my mind to it. And that's just what I do. I just give myself no other option, and then I just do it. And I don't think of failure as an option. I just keep problem solving until I've worked my way out of a situation.
Yeah.
And I think that that's just how people, like, you either look at it that way or you don't. You view failure as an option or quitting as an option, or you just keep trying until something works.
Yeah. And this is the second week in a row that you've said, I don't know if it's my inflated self-ego or not. It's not. Anyone can do anything they set their mind to. So
that's true, yeah.
Don't preface it with that negativity.
That's true, yeah.
Anybody can do anything they set their mind to. They just have to be committed to problem solving along the way and figuring it out, and not being, the best at it at first, but you persevere, you get through it, and you carry on.
Yeah.
So.
And that's something we say all the time. It's not a problem. It's just a solution we haven't found yet. And I truly believe that is like a lifestyle. Like,
so do I.
We don't ever like, even if it comes to like fixing something, we're never like, oh crap, this is just ruined. We got to, bag it. Like it's always figuring it out until it's figured out. You have to keep problem solving until you get to the end.
Yeah. And I think I kind of perform best when everything's kind of going sideways a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, that's when it really kicks in, and I feel like I'm able to keep a level head. And what comes to mind is the dingo broke down, our little mini track loader, and we had to troubleshoot that. We thought we fixed it like 5 different times, and then it kept happening. We finally figure out what's causing it. After probably like 3 days, we fix it. It's running for maybe an hour. Track breaks. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Spent all this time, but when stuff like that happens, you're just like, okay, well, that happened. I could sit here and be mad about it, or be like, oh, I give up, I'm going home today. Or you can just be like, all right, well, I guess we got to call a bunch of places, see who's got a track in stock. We go pick it up, we swap it out, and we get back to work.
Yeah.
So problem solving, big part of it, and keeping a level head when the problems do arise.
Yeah.
So
I think, not to be a negative Nancy, but like you just said, you work best under pressure, kind of, or like under the gun. I think that's like an ADHD characteristic. That's when you do your best work, when you feel that sense of pressure. So
yeah,
maybe that's something people can relate to, because
it's common in the trades.
Pretty common,
I think.
yeah. So,
and I wonder why that is. That it seems like a lot of people I talk to have ADD or ADHD or whatever in the trades. I wonder if it's like because they're just more naturally kind of drawn to doing stuff with their hands and building stuff, or is it because they just never really fit in like the standard institutions of school? Yeah. So they go like the other route. I bet it's a little bit of both, but I've always heard, ADHD and anxiety are like very intrinsically linked. And I've always heard that like doing something with your hands helps anxiety so much. Like there's like a connection between like, it's like a grounding.
Actually using your hands. It's like very distracting, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it brings you out of your head.
Yeah, because you're
body.
so focused onto something on something else. Because I always, when I was like very anxious, I would run, and I was like running is supposed to work. They tell you if you're anxious, you're supposed to exercise. And it's like, why isn't running making me less anxious? And I talked to my therapist, and she was like, it's because you're not doing anything with your hands. You're doing something, but you're just in your head the entire time. So she's like,
yeah.
What about like when you go sailing? Do you feel less anxious? And I was like, I feel not anxious at all. And she's like, that's because you're doing something with your hands and you're physically doing something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like when you're more active with your hands. So I kind of think that probably has something to do with the trades too. That
makes sense.
You're constantly doing something.
Yeah.
Your body's moving. You're problem solving. You're
kind of like distracted a little bit.
Yeah.
Because when you're running, it's just
really, you in your head.
You don't have to think about anything except for the fact that like now your heart rate's up and you're like, oh God, it's making it so much worse.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why people gravitate towards the trades.
Yeah. And I will say that besides business decisions and other ways that I decide to go all in, I am a very all or nothing kind of person when it comes to anything in my life. So much so that a lot of friends kind of make fun of me for it, or like I'll get on kicks of eating the same thing for like months and months and months, and then I won't eat it like almost ever again.
Yeah.
Somebody just asked me last week, I used to be on this kick of eating peanut butter crackers with Nutella. Like, and I would go through an insane, like a half gallon of Nutella a week.
Oh, gosh.
Like the big one from Sam's.
Yeah.
I was in great shape back then too. I don't know how that's possible, but and then they were like, "You still doing the whole Nutella thing?" I was like, I honestly haven't had Nutella in probably 10 years since the last time I cleaned out one of those half gallons, and I was like, "I'm done. I can't eat this ever again."
That's funny.
So, maybe it's just something that naturally I'm more inclined to do when it comes to business, but I wonder if it's like really even possible to like consciously make those decisions. Like, okay, I'm going to consciously go out of my way to set myself up with no safety net, so I have to succeed.
I don't know. I feel like it's like buzzy right now, like the all-in mentality. Like when I was just...
It's buzzy now?
Yeah.
It's trending?
It's trendy, and...
I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
I was ahead of the
curve.
But
like with all this hustle culture and all these like gurus, like business gurus, and it's all over sports, like the Mamba mentality, or like Dabo Sweeney talking about the all-in stuff. It's like...
Yeah.
So I think that people feel a lot of pressure. Like if they are going to do business, like that is the only way to do it. You have to have this mentality of I'm doing this, or like failure isn't an option.
Yeah.
Which it can be positive. You can really set yourself up for success if you just don't view failure as an option, or it can just be all consuming and you're so anxious that you can't do anything because you're just so worried about. And
then you just failing. Like fall over and die. So you still didn't fail.
You didn't fail, but you just died.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it is kind of a double-edged sword. And another way, when I was saying I don't know if I've like consciously like set myself up like that, but now that I said that, I do remember when I initially started the business and I didn't have a lot of work, but like I knew I wanted to just do these creative projects. Something that like I really liked to be in that position where I've just turned down a job that's like very simple, straightforward, would pay the bills and all that kind of stuff because it didn't fit like the creative aspect of what I wanted to do. And then I'm just sitting at home, not working because I turned down that job. So like it really fueled me to, okay, I just turned this down. If I want to make this thing work, which I want to do these kind of jobs, now I'm like forced to figure out a way to get those clients and market to them. So I feel like I kind of did that intentionally.
Yeah.
Kind of put myself in that position where it was figure it out or you're not going to pay your bills because, you're purposely turning down work that doesn't fit and you have no reputation and stuff like that. So I think that was probably one of the biggest things of going all in that helped me.
Yeah.
Like just putting the pressure on to figure it out.
And that is all in on your business, but that's like all in on your vision. That's like big picture. Yeah. Like you were all in on.
Yeah. I don't know.
Vision.
If I've talked about I'm big on vision.
I know.
I'm a big vision guy.
Big vision guy.
I'm a big vision guy.
Yeah.
So
I think we've gone over the big vision. Big vision.
The levels of big, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm big into big vision. Mm-hmm. That's why I recently changed my LinkedIn title to Chief Vision Officer.
Exactly.
Parentheses CVO at Premier Outdoor. I have gotten 0 comments on that change.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised.
That is kind of surprising.
I thought it was cool, but
well, did you just change it or did you add it? I think you have to like add it as like a new position, like you got promoted.
Yeah, I did that.
You did? I think you just changed it.
I don't know.
We'll have to go back and look. I think that you just changed it.
I think it is time for a promotion, though.
Yeah, you deserve it.
I definitely deserve it, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so
yeah.
What's like another... Is there something that you can think of that you went all in on that, whether it was something at your job now, at Premier Outdoor Living, previous job, just in life in general? Let's get an example.
Yeah. I would say that that's... Like, I don't own a business, so I can't speak on that all in, kind of. But I would say that that's how I live my life. Like, I have blown up my life several times because I believed in myself and what I wanted. Mm-hmm. So whether it was quitting my job in California and just committing to moving home with absolutely no money or prospects and just making it work, and it did. Yeah. Or like in a job.
Now you co-host a podcast.
Now I co-host a podcast.
You can't do that kind of stuff in California.
No. The opportunities are so limited
there. They really,
really
really are. I think it's just like baristas out there.
Yeah, mostly. And waitresses.
Yeah, good move.
Yeah. So I think that, like we said earlier, I think it's like a mentality of like whether...
It's a lifestyle.
Maybe it's just a gauge of how much you believe in yourself.
That is a really unique... I think there is a correlation there.
Yeah. And I think that means that it's something that can be changed. Like if you don't feel like you live that way and you want to, just believe in yourself more.
So if you just focus on believing in yourself more, then you'll naturally just be inclined to like go all in on things.
Yeah.
Because you know that you can figure it out. I think we might have just unlocked the key to this whole thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it's been good this week.
Glad we figured that one out. Okay.
That does make sense though, because I honestly believe that I can do anything I set my mind to. Like anything.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how much time am I willing to invest in it, and do I want to do it?
Yeah.
So you can't be good at everything. You can't achieve everything that you just want to. But if you set your mind to something and you really put in the work, I believe anybody can do anything.
Yeah.
You just have to believe in yourself.
I wholeheartedly
and then
agree.
go all in.
Yeah.
So, all right, what are some more downsides? Like, say somebody's listening and they're like, okay, I'm going to sell my house, sell my vehicles, buy a boat, and become a...
So you can burn it?
Fishing. Well, yeah. I was going to say do guided fishing tours.
Oh, that's the dream?
That's their dream.
That's their dream.
And they're like, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to just blow everything up. I'm going to sell everything I have. What are some possible cons to this?
I think rigidity is the main con there. Like, I think that if you are looking at it as this all or nothing, I will do this or I will die or whatever your mentality is, I think that you are acting in such a rigid way that you're not going to like find beauty in the journey. And sometimes you, like, for example, let's take your path. Okay. You gave up landscaping and decided you wanted to go into these backyard builds. Mm-hmm. If you decided at that time, I'm going to go all in on backyard builds, and that is it. I'm going to be the best backyard builder there is on this entire planet. Yeah. And then you followed that dream until you'd probably still be working on it. You'd never see the beauty and the opportunity of like social media. And what if you never allowed yourself that slight offshoot in life that has now become this massive part of your business? So sometimes if you're in an all-in mentality, you're not going to see the beauty in the journey or take other opportunities as they might arise. If you're just being rigid.
That's a very good point. Yeah, so, if you like set your sights on one very, very specific thing, you might get on that journey and realize like that's something that's always been really important to my business mentality is putting myself in a position to evaluate potential opportunities that are out there and building the business in a way that there's flexibility to act on them. So not overwhelming yourself with debt or overhead or all that kind of stuff, so that if you see a new opportunity, you can act on it and you can turn the ship around. Since we're doing boat references. You know?
It's a good one.
Yeah. In that case, you've already burned one boat, but now you're going to steer the boat. I don't know if this one really makes sense now. But you get the idea.
Yeah.
That's how I've always tried to kind of formulate my decisions.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for opportunity. So that's a really good one that I hadn't thought of.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people do that, like especially with business plans. They like stick to it like it is the business Bible and they can't stray from that plan. But sometimes the best opportunities come when you're not expecting it, or, you know, something that you never even thought of that just presents itself. And if you're just so focused on your goal and you just say no to that thing, you could have lost out on a beautiful opportunity.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. And I probably didn't run into that because I didn't have a business plan.
There you go.
So
start your
mistake
business.
101.
No business plan.
Don't think it through too much. I really put like almost no thought into the decision. Like it always shocks me looking back on it. Like I can't remember any thought that I put into it except I don't want to do this. I want to do this. I'm just going to do it. Mm-hmm. It was also going into like the winter. It was not a good sound decision. But I did it anyway. Didn't think twice about it.
Yeah.
Was never happier.
Yeah.
So
I think this is where you stray a little bit from the typical all-in personality, because in my research of this, it was like, it kept coming up that the people who usually are all in are like notorious planners, like nitpicky planners.
Really?
Like, yeah, they decide on this goal and then they plan every single step.
Oh.
And that's what made me, you know, I thought of that earlier. I was like, well, I know Sean really, I would call you an all-in kind of person.
I would think so.
But I would also call you not a super rigid planner.
What? You saw that planner that I bought?
Yeah, you did use it for like 2 days non-consecutively.
It's in my book bag right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Have you been using it and I just haven't seen you?
I don't know. No, I have not, I have not at all. I have not at all. I stick to my strengths, you know?
Yeah.
And it's always...
There's nothing wrong with doing things differently.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that you should always do things differently, and you'll just have less competition. Like, if you can just think of something in a novel way and do it in a way that other people aren't doing it, it's just, I don't know, it just seems easier that way.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is just kind of like listen to yourself and think like, is this cool? Do I think this is cool? Yeah, I think this is cool. Like the backyards we design or the videos that we make, you know, put a bunch of sound effects in it. It's like, I think this is funny. I love sound effects.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it in there. I don't have to emulate somebody else's style of design or of video editing or whatever. I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And there's bound to be some like-minded people like me out there. So
yeah,
it just seems to be the sensible thing to do. Just be different.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
I think that was one of the most impactful quotes I've ever heard. And it was so simple.
The one that I just said?
Yeah, you.
Wow. That's great.
No,
we're all like snowflakes. Different, yet beautiful.
that's another good one, but not the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
You don't want to be the second somebody else. You want to be the first yourself. Usually, like, names are inserted into that. But, like, that's so true. I don't want to be the second anybody. Nobody wants that. Like, or, like, think about any, like, famous person that you know, and then, like, some rising person, they're like, oh, my gosh, that's the next Cher or Madonna or whatever. And then that person never lives up to those expectations because, of course, they won't. You never want to be. Yeah. You're never going to be that same person. So you should just work really hard at being yourself. Because no matter what, you're always going to be yourself. No matter how hard you try to be somebody else, you're still going to be just yourself.
You're just going to be like an off-brand version of that other person.
We are not mainstays Walmart in here. We are originals.
Is that...
I think Mainstays is the brand, the Walmart brand.
I think it is as well.
Yeah.
We're more like
Crate and Barrel.
Crate and Barrel? Okay.
Yeah. We're Crate and Barrel. We're not Walmart.
Overpriced.
We're just overpriced.
Regular stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
but I think about that a lot because I think that it's just so important to be authentically yourself. So
I also think
be all in on yourself.
On yourself. I also think that when you try to copy somebody else, what they're doing, first you're not going to be as good at what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're not going to be as good as them at being themselves.
Yeah. Right.
So you can sometimes like ride a wave of popularity or a trend and like, you know, like you hear like a new style of singer come out or something. And then you see all these other people that are kind of emulating that and they get like a little bit of popularity, but it's the person that like started that trend that has some sort of staying power. Yep. You know, beyond the trend. So be yourself. Love
lean
that.
into yourself.
Love that.
Being yourself.
That seems dangerous.
Lean into being yourself.
You might fall down.
Don't lean into yourself. That does sound dangerous.
Lean against the wall. Or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, okay. I have some other cons written down. Let's see what we get.
I didn't really expect this to spark so much curiosity within myself. I thought it was kind of cut and dry. Like, I'm all in, but now I'm really thinking about these things in a new way.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I'm glad we could have this conversation. We actually didn't really talk about this at all before we started.
We did not.
I'm glad that we didn't.
Yeah, and that's weird for me because I'm such a meticulous planner. So yeah, it's weird that we just kind of went into this willy-nilly. Do you want another gin, apple, and cucumber cocktail, sparkling apple gimlet?
I am not done my first.
Okay.
But thank you.
Can I have one?
You can have one.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks. Appreciate it.
Another thing I wanted to mention. A lot of the like guru types who are talking about this
Don't get me started on that
again. It's noted that a lot of this kind of thinking was started in the military. That's where it kind of comes from because I won't say like all over because like you said, the whole Caesar thing may or may not have said the burn the boats thing. So not
Could
that,
have,
but like
maybe,
it like American version of this, it is incredibly rooted within the military. And that's a application where like you have to think that way because
it's literal life or death.
It's literal life or death. And it's like you're on a team. No, you don't get to pick that team. You're on that team and you all have to subscribe to the same belief or it's never going to work because there's going to be a weak link who's holding you back. So a lot of these all-in mentality people who write these books started in the military. So that is something to take into consideration when you're listening to these people speak. Which I thought that was kind of interesting because I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's why they're like saying all that.
Yeah.
Like I think of
David Goggins.
Yes, that guy.
That's what came to my mind as well. And it also sparked another question that I'm thinking, you know, you talked about rigidity. That's just a funny word to say, rigidity.
It's hard to say, yeah.
It is.
Rigidity.
You got to really think about it.
Yeah.
You know, all-in mentality leads to a bit of rigidity sometimes, which I find myself to be pretty flexible in my thinking and like kind of, you know, maneuver to new opportunities that I want to pursue. But is there a huge benefit to just being rigid with certain things to see it out? And that's what David Goggins kind of like reminded me of because it's like, you know, he's kind of like that. I don't know if he's part of that 75 hard kind of thing, but like, you know, you set this specific goal and you just do it no matter what. Yeah. You know, like, I don't know, run like a zillion miles or whatever kind of crazy stuff he comes up with.
Yeah.
Finding that balance of like sticking to it, being rigid with what you set out to do, but also being flexible.
Yeah.
How do you find that balance?
Yeah, I imagine that's hard because like there is some benefits to being rigid. If you are the person who's not, you know, can't decide or whatever, like being rigid isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you want to be rigid with yourself and like force yourself to do these things because otherwise you wouldn't, you'd be wishy-washy, then that's
not good either.
It's a good thing to be more rigid. So
that's true.
Maybe you just need to be honest with yourself and what you know, lean towards. If you lean towards rigidity, then maybe work on being more flexible. But if you're like overly flexible, work towards being more rigid.
Unless we're talking about like stretching, your body should be nice and flexible.
Body
Don't work towards being more rigid,
limber as possible.
Especially in the trades.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yoga. Do yoga.
Do yoga. Yeah, I think it can be a good exercise for people that, if you really do some self-reflecting and find that you give up on stuff a lot, be honest with yourself. You don't have to say it out loud. Just say it within your own mind and say, I really never stick with anything. I was going to lose those 10 pounds. I was going to start reading. I was going to learn to read. And I gave up.
Keep meaning to learn how to read. I forget about that goal.
Maybe you need to do some sort of challenge like that where you stay rigid, and it can be an exercise in just sticking with something no matter, once you're halfway through it, you're like, why am I doing this? Is so pointless. I'm just like hurting my body at this point. This is too rigorous. Yeah. But you stick with it anyway, more for that mental workout. Yeah. Where it's like, you're just going to stick through it no matter what. And, I think that could be a good exercise for people that are too flexible. Yeah. And give up too easy. Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
All right. Well, now that was serious.
Let's
get hippy dippy woo woo about it.
Okay.
How do you think this applies to the law of attraction? I guess we should define the law of attraction first before people might not know what that is.
Okay. For the people that don't know what that is, it's you cut out pictures from a magazine, you put it on a poster board, and you get that stuff. So
that's exactly how it works. Yep.
I have one, and
do you?
Yeah.
A vision board?
Yeah. I cut out stuff I wanted. Next week, there should be a Lamborghini coming for me pretty soon. I actually forgot about it. That should be here soon.
I'll be on the lookout.
Yeah,
for that
be on
delivery.
the lookout for that. So yeah, that is. That's one that's like the secret. Yeah. You make like a vision board and all your dreams come true or something. But I think it really is, you just kind of put these intentions out there. I don't really know.
It's intention setting. So
you seem a little bit more like woo woo than me. So
I love this stuff. The law of attraction is that you like set out these intention or you set out these goals, and if you give energy to it, then like the world is gonna, or the universe or whomever you believe in is gonna bring it back to you. So by setting these intentions through the law of attraction, you are just setting yourself up to be able to receive these things. So it's kind of more like metaphysical, or, if you believe in a God, then it's that. I think
the technical term is woo-woo.
Woo-woo, yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit woo-woo.
Woo-woo, hippy-dippy.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting to think about, because people really subscribe to that kind of thinking.
Do you do that?
And yeah, I do.
They're like kind of like affirmations and like.
Yes, I love affirmations. So yeah. And I just think that if you, I think of it more as like I don't believe in vision boards. Like if you put these things down, then you're just going to get them. And I think of it much more as like a meta thing rather than like, my intention is to get a Lamborghini or my intention is to get a big house. Like I don't think that works in that way, but I think that if you just work really hard and you commit to things and you are a good person, then good things will come back to you.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. Like, I do believe that, if you just give more than you expect to receive, you'll get back more in return. Yeah. I always believe that. Yeah. So, I don't know if that's part of the law of attraction, but I think
it is, yeah.
It, like, if you just kind of like affirmations and stuff like that, if you think about it enough and you like imagine the success that you're wishing for, I think it just puts you in a different frame of mind. Like if you like look at if you're looking for a new car and you look for a, whatever type of car,
a Ford Bronco.
The more that you think about Ford Broncos, the more you're going to see them out on the road.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that is true.
So it's kind of like that can happen with opportunities too. Like if you're really thinking about these goals and, achieving something, you're always on the lookout for something that can help you get to that next level or the next opportunity. So I think it's, whether it's like, some sort of spiritual woo-woo kind of thing, or it's just, the more you think about it, the more mental energy you put into it, the better you're going to be at it. Like, I think to be successful in something, you really have to like put yourself kind of all in. Like, you really have to do it with everything that you have, especially when you get started, especially if it's something that's new for you. In that essence, you have to be passionate about it because it's going to be a lot of work. And that's why I feel like we've had moderate success, because I like everything that we do. It's fun.
It is.
I like building backyards. I like making videos. I like, talking podcast. Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah. I think that's a good point when it's like, you're more likely to look for opportunities. I think that's a good way to put it, because one of the things of law of attraction is like, if you meditate and you believe in that kind of stuff, if you're just putting yourself in that mind state, like if you're like, okay, I want this incredibly successful YouTube channel or whatever you want, you like think about that. You think of like what it will actually be like, what your days will be like, what, and if you do kind of have that mentality, then you will be looking for opportunities instead of being like, well, why isn't this working out for me? Nothing's working out. Everything sucks.
Yeah.
My life sucks. Then you're not looking for anything. Then you're just putting yourself into a little hole, in a tiny little hole.
Yep.
So I think that's a good way of thinking it. Like if you're just more likely to look for opportunities.
Yeah. And this isn't totally related, but when you just did the whole like, I'm sad, I'm going to give up. Mm-hmm. It reminded me of something, and I think it's from the book, I think it's called The 5 a.m. Miracle or something.
Okay.
Read it a while ago. But in there, the guy says that he allows himself to be sad or upset about something, or like something where you would normally like have like, feel bad for yourself. Like, oh no, poor me. He allows himself 5 minutes of that. And then it's back to business. Now what? Now what do I do? Yeah. I thought that was a really interesting thing because, you can't completely ignore stuff like that. Like when stuff goes wrong and it feels like the whole universe is against you, maybe because you don't subscribe to the law of attraction and you're trying to work against the woo-woo, hippy dippy stuff. But, yeah.
I think that's a great plan. I love that. Just let yourself be sad for 5 minutes and then...
Yeah. You get it all out. You're not suppressing it.
Yeah.
Maybe you are to an extent. I don't know. But then you don't feel sorry for yourself. You assess the situation and you're like, okay, well, that happened already. Is this going to make it better for me to just like pout in the corner? Probably not. Mm-hmm. So let's get to problem solving.
Exactly.
And
I love that.
I think that's a big part of the all-in mentality, as you said, is just anticipating the problems are going to arise and having the faith in yourself that you'll be able to figure it out, think on your feet, overcome them, get to the next mountaintop.
Yeah.
Metaphorically.
Yes. Or literally.
Yeah, if you want to be a mountain climber. Yeah, if you want to go all in on that.
On Mount Everest or whatever.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so
do you have any interest in climbing Mount Everest?
Not even for a second.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Just wondering.
Never.
Yeah.
You?
No, not even close. Because not only like it's not even cool anymore.
Because there's so many people that
there's like a zillion
tours
people.
And all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but it's just like, it's really just like the Sherpas like lugging like all this stuff up and they're like basically carrying you up the damn mountain.
Yeah.
And it's really dangerous for them.
I know like little to nothing about the actual hike, or climb or whatever you call it.
I walk. I don't know.
Whatever you do.
Stroll.
But I remember when I heard the fact that if you die on Mount Everest, they just leave your body there.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to see dead bodies. That would be horrible.
Yeah.
I think they like kind of like shoo them off to the side so you're not like looking at them as you're trekking up the mountain, but I would know that they're there.
Or they'll turn them into steps.
Oh, you step on top of dead bodies. Oh, that sounds lovely.
Like if somebody dies on all fours, they'll turn that person into like, a step or maybe like a coffee table or whatever. It's different up there.
Yeah, different rules.
Yep. Okay, enough of that.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Okay.
I will cross. I'm going to cross an ocean in a boat, and I think that's the peak
do you think
adventure that I want in my life.
Catherine, I don't know. It seems a little unrealistic. It seems like a lot of work. I don't know. I don't think you can do it. Do you think you can?
I am going all in on that goal.
You are?
Yeah.
You're going to set your mind to it?
I'm going to set my mind to it. I've already got intentions out there.
Okay.
So I will, in my lifetime, cross an ocean in a boat. A sailboat, not a cruise boat or like a motorboat. Sailing across the ocean. I will sail across an ocean.
We are, a little bit differing on how the law of attraction works, but I would do a magazine clip out.
I should,
just in case.
I should.
Just
to
in
cover
case
all the bases, do a vision board. You're right.
And put like a Lamborghini on there for me too.
Okay,
Thanks.
I'll add one.
Appreciate that.
No problem.
Appreciate that. What kind of time we got here?
We're at 45 minutes, my friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Time really flies when you're going all in.
Yep.
You got anything else on this topic? Or should we get into our next segment?
Our mystery questions.
Our mystery questions. And this week, there's such a mystery that I don't even know what they are
You
yet.
don't even know yet?
Do you?
Okay.
You got one?
I got one, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
Mine's kind of silly, but I thought it was a good question.
Yeah, you always come up with the silly ones. Mine are always like real serious. Okay. Should we go?
Okay.
Do you want anything else to say about going all in?
No. I had some notes about like the hustle culture, which I do consider something different, but I feel like we could do a whole episode on that.
Yeah.
I feel like hustle culture is, there's a lot to be said about that. So
yeah.
Maybe next time we'll talk about that.
Maybe next time. One thing I do want to put out there is just a disclaimer. Go all in at your own risk. If you go all in and you lose everything,
not Sean's fault.
Don't come back blaming me. All right? You didn't try hard enough or believe in yourself enough. I don't know what happened, but you got to really self-evaluate and see if this type of approach is right for you.
Yeah.
And be honest with yourself.
I think being honest with yourself is pretty huge. So
it is huge.
Be honest with yourself.
Yep.
But also believe in yourself. Take some risks.
Something else that I thought about, and I just want to put on the record so maybe we remember it for another episode. Playing to your strengths and weaknesses.
Overcoming your weaknesses.
Yeah, there's kind of like differing beliefs. Should you just focus on your strengths and make those even stronger? Or should you focus on your weaknesses? Like the planning, obviously, is a huge strength of mine. Should I, focus on some weaknesses?
Interesting.
Yeah.
We should circle back to that. I love that.
I don't know. It's just something that popped into my head. I'm curious about, does it make sense to even work on your weaknesses, or should you just completely outsource them and
just go all in on your strengths?
Yeah. Something to think about. Well, I don't know. Let it stew. Let it stew.
Yeah.
Let
I
it
like
stew.
that. I like that.
Okay.
I got a lot to say
all right,
on that.
so we're done with
We'll come back to that.
We're all out of the all-in talk, and now we're all in on the secret question of the week.
All right. You need some time to think about yours?
I'll think about it while you're asking me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine's a silly one, but I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean.
Yeah.
You have been kidnapped.
What?
You're kidnapped.
Oh, God. Is that why there's all these tools in here?
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay.
You are kidnapped, and your kidnapper says,
yeah,
I will let you go.
Yeah.
If you can choose an album and sing every single word to that one album, what album do you choose? What album do you confidently know every single word to?
I am going to say, I'm going to go Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Whoa, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah?
You are confident in your Pink Floyd knowledge? That's like a...
No, I don't really know anything about Pink Floyd, but I know on that album, I think it starts off with the song Time, and there's always clocks going.
Yeah.
We'll get confused long enough that I can poke his eyes out and escape.
Okay. A different tactic. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, because I don't know any words.
To Pink Floyd or to any songs?
To anything. To anything.
No?
I would say probably the closest I could get would be Kanye's College Dropout or Late Registration. Both of those I've listened to like a zillion times.
Okay.
I think I would be pretty close, but definitely not the whole thing.
Interesting.
Could you kind of fake your way through some of it?
Depends on how good at acting you are, I guess.
Okay.
That's interesting. You're such a music person. I thought you would confidently have an answer in that.
I'm more of a music person rather than a lyric person. I pay attention to. I'm more paying attention to the music rather than the lyrics. So I've never been good at knowing the words to songs.
Okay.
So
interesting.
What do you got? I feel like you probably have a lot of them.
My far and away choice would be Linkin Park Hybrid Theory.
Whoa, the whole album?
I can do that whole album.
All right. How long is the album? Probably about an hour.
Probably, roughly.
All right, next week. Next week, we're going to get into...
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I'm just trying to think of what that says about you.
that my music taste peaked when I was in 8th grade and I listened to the same album. That was back in the time of CD players. You had one choice. You had to listen. Well, I mean, you could switch CDs, obviously, but like, I listened to that CD over and over and over again, and it is burned into my brain.
Yeah.
There's no room for lyrics. I don't learn lyrics like to current songs. It's just what's in there from my childhood.
Yeah.
So.
Huh. That's so interesting.
It's just something to think about.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Linkin Park, hybrid theory. R.I.P. Chester Bennington.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah.
All right. What's your question?
Okay. My question for you.
Silly or serious?
I'd say it's mostly silly, but it could be a little bit serious.
Okay.
Okay. You have been kidnapped.
I was kidnapped?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Because you were involved in some mafia-related stuff.
Okay.
But
that checks.
then you snitched.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you flipped quick.
Whoa.
Became a state's witness and testified the whole 9. Now you're in witness protection.
Oh, God.
You only have 2 choices. You can either go to Norway. No, that's really nice there.
Yeah, I'm going to Norway.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay. Somewhere. All right. You know what? Forget exact places. Would you, if you had to go somewhere that is really, really cold all the time, or really, really hot all the time, where are you choosing to live?
Hot.
Really?
Yeah, hot. 100%.
Huh.
Despite the fact that I just said that I couldn't live in Texas because it's too hot.
Yeah.
I really don't like being cold, and there's like nothing to do in the cold, and I really like outdoor. I like outdoor activities, and like can't sail when it's really cold. Or I mean, good, but it would suck. So
yeah,
I'm going hot.
Okay.
Near the equator, 100%.
Okay. Interesting. I thought you were going to go the opposite, just because you were so adamant about not being able to live in Texas. If
you were like, do you want to live in the middle of what's a really hot country with no water?
Egypt.
Egypt has the Nile.
But it's, I don't know, a lot of sand, mostly. I don't know.
Zanzibar. I don't know anything about Zanzibar.
Where's that?
I assume it's a landlocked country.
Is it?
I think so.
Zanzibar? I think that's a candy bar. I don't know what that is.
Okay. Somewhere that's super hot and landlocked, then I would go cold. But if I could have if I could have water around me, then I'd go hot.
What about a lake? Is that
how big of a lake are we talking?
I don't know, medium size?
Yeah, like that could work.
Okay.
What about you?
I would definitely, pretty much no matter what, go hot. I think also. Because people always say you can always add more layers in the cold, but you can't take off more layers in the heat. So that kind of makes sense, but it's something about the cold. It just always goes straight to my bones.
Yeah.
I hate it. No
feel
matter
the
how many
same
layers
way.
I have,
Yeah.
it's just, I absolutely hate the cold.
Yeah.
So, and the heat doesn't bother me that much. Like, it was super hot this week, but I get used to it pretty quick.
Yeah.
The thing I got to be really concerned about, putting on the sunscreen.
Yeah, sunburn.
Putting on the sunscreen. I burn pretty easy.
Yeah.
I am
can see that.
a fair-skinned young man. So, yeah, I'd go hot weather also.
Yeah. I will. It has been so hot this past week, but it's still far and away better than like when it was really cold and working in the van and just having to sit there, and we would have like space heaters, and I would still be like miserable because it's so
the worst.
Cold. So
yeah, I hate it.
So yeah,
okay, and maybe because I don't like any like winter sports. I've never done skiing or like snowboarding, so
there's not much to do. I mean, I
not
guess
much
there
to
is,
look
but
forward to.
Yeah.
So okay, well, good to know. You got anything else that you
want
to tell the people?
I guess just believe in yourself, even if it's to a fault. I think it's really important to believe in yourself, and no one's ever going to believe in you as much as you are able to believe in yourself. So, I mean, maybe your mom or dad might, but like mostly it's just you. You got to have your own back and believe in yourself, and good things will happen. I promise.
Yeah, and sometimes parents can be like a little bit like, well, we always knew little John was a little different. So
yeah, exactly.
Parents always have like those preconceived ideas of,
That's
you know,
true.
so don't let your parents hold you back. Even if they're your biggest cheerleader, you can believe in yourself more than your mommy. So go ahead and do that.
Actually, that's kind of funny. Like, Sarah, your wife, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday,
happy
Sarah,
birthday.
if you're listening. But
She's
all
not.
of our...
She's definitely not.
But all of like that group of friends have known me since I was in high school, and they always talk about how I almost failed out of... They're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're doing so well in life because you almost failed out of high school. And I'm like... It's a problem with knowing people for so long. It's like, why you gotta keep bringing that up?
Yeah.
You're holding me back.
Seriously. Yeah.
So don't let anybody else's preconceived notions about you change your self-image. Believe in yourself, and you can do great things.
Yeah. Or horrible things. So choose the right way.
Choose the right path.
Yeah.
And just go all in on whatever you choose.
Unless it's bad. Then don't.
Then don't, yeah.
Then don't. Just
go
just
in
do
all,
good stuff.
all in on good things.
Okay. Hey, Catherine.
Yeah, Sean.
We are getting to that part in the show where we just start rambling.
Oh, we're getting squirrely?
We're getting squirrely.
You think we're getting squirrely? Okay.
I think we're getting a little squirrely.
Okay.
So maybe we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
This was a good one, I think. Let us know. What I did want to say, please.
Oh, yeah. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah. Thanks for asking. Please, if you're listening to this and you enjoy it, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or, the Google Play Store, whatever, however that works.
Yes, it
Wherever
helps.
you're listening, it really helps push the show out to other people that might enjoy it. And we make absolutely zero money on this. We're negative thousands of dollars with the equipment that we've bought for this and the time spent. But we're having fun, and I hope that you are too. So until next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.